Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to ADHD Hobbies and another Grounded 2 video. The game hasn't quite come out yet, but that hasn't stopped everybody from having their wish list, their thoughts, what they want, their predictions, and well, I'm going to do it too. So in this video, we're going to tackle things that I really hope to see that make it into Grounded 2. Now, the videos that have come out have shown us quite a bit of stuff, and after review, I'm looking to tackle some things that the reveal videos maybe haven't quite touched base on yet, and really hoping that we get them in the next game. Let's jump to it. But before I jump too far, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss any content for Grounded 2 coming out in the future. I'm come out swinging. First thing on this list, we need something for vertical movement. A lot of players got around this, including myself, by making elevator towers in Grounded 1, and it could be a little tricky, and when it worked great, it worked great. But when it didn't, it didn't. These things be unpredictable, and you wouldn't always go up. They could launch you in all kinds of directions. Unless you hit that sweet spot, they could be a little bit annoying. So something dedicated to help with vertical movement, especially when you're looking to build the big towers, the big zipline towers, something to help you get to the top of those without having to set an awkward place zipline. Another solution that the devs might be able to add to this is a grapple hook. It wouldn't be too bad at all using some of those threads and abilities that they have in there to be able to launch yourself up, grab a ledge, and just yeet, here we go, get to the top. So definitely something I hope the devs add at some point is something to help us with vertical movement. And before I get too far away from movement, the next thing on the list was to address the buggies. We finally got them, boys and girls. We got mounts, and the devs decided to call them buggies, and at launch we get a red ant and an orb weaver, and they both have their own special abilities, and this is great. But the buggy they did not show, a buggy that they did not introduce and have not talked about, is the possibility of a flying buggy. And to me, this would be a game changer, even if they make it an in-game buggy that you get. Anybody that's spent an enormous amount of time in Grounded, such as myself, towards the end of the game, you find yourself zooming all over the yard. And with the size that this yard is going to be, or this play area is going to be, this park, having something to be able to fly around could be an absolute game changer, allowing us to zip around and do what we need to do. So please, devs, give us something that flies, a bumblebee, a butterfly, or better yet, a dragonfly, something that's just mean in the air and fun to ride. Alright, we talked about getting around. Let's talk about farming. If you're building those big builds, if you've seen my videos, it is what I love about the game. But one of the chokeholds on it, inventory. I know they're looking to add inventory to the buggies that you get, but I'd also like to see some changes with the player's inventory. Given screenshots and from what we know, the inventory on the players is roughly the same size as what you get from Grounded 1, and this could feel awfully small at times. It'd be great for the devs to add, even they could do it through mutations, even if they add it through mutations, a way to expand your inventory on your personal player to where you can carry more items. And while you're working on the inventory, another great quality of life change I'd like to see made is the ability to lock items in your inventory. Now, I cannot tell you how irritating it was to have tools or things in my inventory and then you send everything out to your mass storage and then you got to go hunt down items. Just to be able to lock something in your inventory to keep track of things and better manage it would be amazing. Next up on the list, I'm sure it can't just be me, but the building mechanics in Grounded are next to none. They are so good and so much fun, and the creative ability that I've seen people across the community pull off have been amazing. At the back of my mind, there's one thing I wish we could build that I just have not seen anything on, and that is the ability to build underwater bases. In Grounded 1, they made sure to show that the ability was there. There were labs and there's things underwater. You got the different domes. How awesome would it be to be able to build your own base underwater, your own observatories underwater? I would love it. If I could do that, it would be one of my favorite places to build a base. It would almost be an instant win for me. So yes, very high on my list of things that I want is just the ability to build underwater. Now we get to take a step back and reference Grounded 1. So many of us, including myself, have spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours in Grounded 1. We have honed our skills with our teens in the backyard to a bug-killing super efficiency that the Orkin Man wish he could do. It'd be awesome if we was able to transfer some progress or something from Grounded 1 into Grounded 2. The games have made it clear, even in the reveals, that the teens are older, wiser, smarter, more experienced. Transfer that over from Grounded 1 to Grounded 2. If you got that S rank save, that A save, just those playthroughs where you've spent massive amount of time on getting all your weapons and really learning to dominate and master the backyard. Honestly, I feel like you should have a hands up getting into the shrunken mode again, going into the park for Grounded 2. So devs, you're listening, sure would be awesome. Doesn't even have to be anything major, just some extra weapons, a couple mutations, some skins, just something to show, that you got the skills. And now something to feed the nerdy side. While the teens have done a great job and been very formidable on their resilience for surviving by crafting things with bug parts, crafting buildings with just resources that are around them, I would like to see some science introduced, something a little bit more technical introduced to some of the builds. In Grounded 1, you could get the secret weapon and get the pinch whacker, which was great. It was a little weapon that you could smack things with and deal a shock to. In Grounded 2, I feel like it'd be great to bring that over into it, but make it an ability where you can add it to things, not just some of the sour, spicy, fresh mutations, but maybe add some shock mutations, or even give your Omnitool the ability to create a stasis field or a force field, something to block projectiles. I think it'd be kind of awesome. And while we're going to upgrade that, thinking about it, field stations. We all made so many trips back and forth to field stations, researching things, checking things, looking at Milk Muller's quest. It'd be awesome if you could build a little station or some sort of device within your base so that you can check all this stuff and manage it without having to wander around and go to field stations all over the yard. The next item on the list kind of hit me as a eureka moment. Now I can't stop thinking about it. It just seems way too cool, and a guy can hope, right? But what I'd like to see is roles for the bugs. The bugs in Grounded they're such a massive part. They're almost everything to the game. You fight them, they're the monsters, the bosses, your friends, they're everything to the game. They're what makes Grounded unique. How awesome would it be to get bugs and to be able to tame them and have them do certain roles? Like, you could have soldier ants patrolling around your base, helping you out with raids, bugs coming around. You could have them help you gather, do things, not just when you're riding around on them, like the buggies, but to have bugs that you would actually give roles to. Maybe you have multiple bases, and this is where it came from. Anybody that has built a little base in Grounded or built a big base, you find yourself needing to transfer inventory, and it can take some time to go back and forth. What if you could set up a little worker ant to move inventory from one base location to another, where you set up a set path and just have them go back and forth? I don't know. It's food for thought. There's a lot of bugs out there, and I feel like the possibilities of this are endless. As much as I hate dropping another name in here, but think Pal World, the way you set up the jobs for all the different pals and stuff, and they're unique to that pal. Make Grounded where you can set up jobs for different bugs that are unique just to that bug. It could be so much fun and a whole different twist and mechanic on the game that nobody saw coming. And now for my most far-fetched idea. And with Grounded, they have such a perfect setup for it, but it's mini games. With the Minotaurs and Myrmidon's game that they focus on in Grounded, it'd be such a perfect setting to make a mini game where you could set your gamers up, your teens up in a room and just roll some dice on a table, have some fun. It doesn't have to be that extravagant, just something more. Maybe it varies along the lines of emotes or something, but where the teens can interact and you can actually sit around and have fun with just a little mini game within the game. If you've played the game like I have, where you've had your friends and you've spent lots of time in it, we've spent massive amounts of time just sitting around chatting within the buildings that we've built, and it would be one of the funnest ways I can think of to really enjoy what you've built than to just have a few friends sitting around rolling dice on a table, killing some minotaurs. This next item I've seen come up a few times on some of the forums, Reddit, where I like to browse, and I like it, but the ability to have a paintbrush, not necessarily change the color of absolutely everything out there, but maybe give a few building materials out there and maybe even a small color palette that you can go through, even if you have to go farm the items you need, like blueberries for blue or what have you. But to be able to customize your buildings in some way and add some sort of color flavor to it that makes them more personal. I think you'd see some fantastic builds going on out there, and just the variety that might pop up could be amazing to see as well. And for the last item on the list, brace yourself. This one's a doozy. Devs, I hope I got your ears. A salty staff. You can do it, I promise. It is such a requested item out there. Everybody wants one. I understand the candy staffs, but you did add the Queen Scepter with the acid stuff, so you have a reason where you can add things outside of the candy staff realm. And a salty staff would just, make a homie happy. That's all I'm saying. You did a great job with reveal. The changes on the fresh staff have me all kinds of happy, and as a wizard player and a staff player, I am so looking forward to it. But that arsenal just will not be complete without a salty staff. So I'm just saying, salty staff for the win and all that good stuff. I'd like to thank everybody that stuck around till the very end. These videos are fun to make. The speculation about Grounded 2 is fun to make, and trying to guess what we're going to get, what we're not going to get. This has just been too much fun. As the game rolls out and we get more, maybe this list will update. Hopefully I get to strike a few of these things off. But until then, until next game, next adventure, you have a great day.